Which brings us to the adjournment debate. The question is that this House do now... whip to move.
I beg to move this House to now adjourn.
The question is that this House do now adjourn. Adam Jogee.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker.
Just wait a minute now. Hello.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I was advised to wait, so forgive me for not listening to you, but listening to others. It's a real pleasure to lead my first adjournment debate as the Member of Parliament.
Please leave the chamber quietly. Adam Jogee.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I'd like to start my remarks by wishing my neighbour, the Honourable Member for Stafford, a very happy, if I may say, 40th birthday. And I'm very pleased that she is spending it in the chamber with us this evening. There's no better way to spend a birthday than talking about the wonderful county that we represent in this House. Madam Deputy Speaker, Newcastle-under-Lyme is home to many excellent places of learning, and with higher education in mind, none more so than Keele University. I consider it a real privilege to be Keele's Member of Parliament, and that's why I applied for this debate tonight. Higher education in Staffordshire is primarily delivered through two universities, Keele in my constituency and Staffordshire University based in Stoke-on-Trent. I'm going to broadly focus my remarks on Keele, and I should say that I'm looking forward to welcoming most of my Staffordshire colleagues to Keele University tomorrow. 2024 has been an important year for almost everyone in this House, Madam Deputy Speaker, and for people up and down our United Kingdom. We've had a change of government, and I welcome my honourable friend from Lewisham, the Minister, to her place, and we have begun the work of getting our country back on track. But 2024 is also important because Keele University in Newcastle-under-Lyme marks the 75th anniversary since its foundation, as the first new university of the 20th century. Keele University was born from a pioneering vision, one of a different kind of university. Established in 1949 by Lord Lindsay, the former Vice-Chancellor of Oxford, in a country still recovering from the Second World War. The university's founding aim was to produce graduates who not only had the technical and specialist knowledge to move society forward, but who understood the social and political landscape that drove this need. Fast forward 75 years, and this original ethos remains at the core of the university's mission. And the global network of over 100,000 alumni in 120 countries is creating a positive impact across the world in a range of diverse careers, including, may I say, serving in this House. And I'm very pleased personally that one of my cousins is doing medicine at Keele. He's just started his second year, and that meant he was able to vote for me in July. At least he told me he did. Keele currently ranks in a golden quadrangle of the top 50 universities in England that excel in both teaching and research, all with a gold award in the Teaching Excellence Framework and high research intensity in the most recent Research Excellence Framework. I'm very pleased that Keele, and therefore Staffordshire, is a sector leader in sustainability, tackling the world's biggest problems through their research and educating tomorrow's leaders to help shape a brighter future. Keele's research, expertise and passion for sustainability is renowned around the world, and that's why the university was named Global Sustainability Institute of the Year back in 2021. Now, Madam Deputy Speaker, Keele's economic impact is created not only through directly employing about 2,000 people, but also through spending with local suppliers and contractors, with neighbouring businesses and residents being the primary beneficiaries. Keele is one of the largest employers in Newcastle-under-Lyme, and it's a local employer too. 39% of the workforce at Keele live in the ancient borough of Newcastle-under-Lyme, and a further 31% live in Stoke-on-Trent. There is a real commitment to being a good neighbour, and Keele has provided more than 2,000 support interactions with local organisations since 2016.
Will my honourable friend give way?
I will very happily give way.
I thank my honourable friend for giving way and congratulate him on securing this debate. As he says, we're blessed with many exemplary higher education institutions across our area, with many being connected by the A50, A500. Does he agree with me that upgrades to this road are essential to allow our constituents easier access to universities and to enable greater collaboration across our local universities?
honourable friend and near neighbour from Burton for his point, and he's made an excellent submission ahead of the budget, and I feel sure the Minister will make that point to colleagues in the Treasury. But he makes an important point about connectivity and accessibility and the importance of transport and a transport network that works and allows people both to benefit from our higher education institutions and then to contribute to our local economies. That legacy and commitment, Madam Deputy Speaker, to the wider community is why Keele was named among the UK's best universities for contribution to local growth and regeneration in the recent iteration of the Knowledge Exchange Framework run by Research England. Keele, working with the Bar Council, have advanced the Keele in Town programme, which will see the transformation of an empty 19th century building in the heart of Newcastle-under-Lyme town centre into a mixed-use facility for the community that will be kitted out with modern working and meeting spaces, offering digital connectivity to the community and helping to drive productivity. I will happily give way to another good man from Staffordshire.
I thank the honourable member for giving way, and it is wonderful to be here to be able to contribute to this debate. I thought I had to intervene when he spoke about university campuses and university buildings being in city centres. My own constituency of Lichfield doesn't have a large university campus, but we do have a small satellite campus of the University of Staffordshire, which does support our local economy and does make sure that a lot of the learning from Staffordshire is reinvested through their business village. Does he agree with me about the importance of making sure that the wealth of these institutions is shared around the entire county so that everybody can benefit from their investments?
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm very grateful to my honourable friend from Lichfield. An honour and a privilege to say that I don't think many on the Labour benches thought they would say, and what an excellent decision the people of Lichfield made on July the 4th. But he raises a really important point, because making sure that we have access to education in a way that people from all backgrounds, all communities can benefit is something that I certainly on this side of the House I know will advance, and I thank him for making such a powerful point.
Would the honourable member give way?
I will happily give way to my neighbour.
Thank you. And I thank the honourable member for giving way and for securing this important debate. And I would like to ask the honourable member to join me in recognising the excellent work done by organisations across our area to help young people to access higher education. For example, my former employer, the YMCA, received the Queen's Award for promoting opportunity for the work it does with Staffordshire University on its Step Up programme. The YMCA now gets around 10 young people off to university every single year, and under the leadership of Danny Flynn and the committed team, they share the same kind of values that we do about promoting opportunity for all.
I thank my neighbour, and another example of the great decisions the people of Staffordshire made, that my honourable friend is now sitting here as the MP for Stoke-on-Trent North. That's something I suspect we're all very grateful for. My honourable friend raises a really important point for two reasons. One, because Danny Flynn is a constituent of mine in Newcastle-under-Lyme and has spent many years doing amazing work with his team at the North Staffordshire YMCA, based in, I was just about to say, based in the constituency of my honourable friend from Stoke-on-Trent Central, but also because of the undiluted and very clear commitment they have to making sure that as many people from as many different backgrounds are able to access the opportunities they need and deserve to meet their full potential. Now, I will happily give way to the member Strangford.
Madam Deputy Speaker, can I commend the Honourable Gentleman from Newcastle-upon-Lyme for his presentation. I've watched him in his time here in the new Parliament, and I've been greatly impressed, not just because of what he does, but because our friendship long before this, he married a girl from Northern Ireland, so that maybe makes him part Northern Irish in relation to that. But one of the things about it's great to hear what's going on in the education, but one of my concerns about education is this: does the Honourable Member not agree that the pressures on our young people in higher education is greater than ever, with financial pressures as an example, as well as societal expectations, and that we do need greater mental health support for our higher education students, as well as financial help for a generation of students whose student loan debt has higher than any time it has ever been in the past? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank the member for Strangford for his intervention. It wouldn't, of course, be an adjournment debate without it. But he raises a really important point that I will come to later in my remarks. But it's not just financial, it's the mental health impact of the pressures young people face. It's the inability to secure affordable, accessible, safe places to live. And it's also trying to keep a job down and study at the same time, pushed and caused by some of the financial pressures the honourable member has just referred to, and I thank him very much for his kind comments. I'm not sure if that's better for his street cred or mine, but I'd take the, I'd take the compliment. Now, Madam Deputy Speaker, as I was saying, the Kiel in Town programme will be seeing an empty 19th century building in the heart of Newcastle-under-Lyme town centre moved and made into a mixed-use facility for the community. Oh, actually, I've touched on that, but I'll repeat it again because it's important. With meeting spaces offering digital connectivity to the community and helping to drive productivity and boost skill levels in those areas. This includes working with our brilliant local FE institutions, and I was at the excellent Newcastle College. I will happily give way.
Thank you. And I thank you for securing this debate and for promoting my ex-employer, Keele University. So there's an interest there, I have to claim. I recently had the great honour to visit the prestigious Stoke-on-Trent College in Bursland campus in my colleagues and my honourable friends' constituency to meet with apprentices, including inspirational young people like Robbie and superb employers like Carson Powell. Would the honourable member agree with me that apprenticeships, including degree-level apprenticeships, provide an excellent alternative route for both young people and career changers to access higher education both in our FE colleges and universities, and that these apprenticeships also provide a real benefit to our local employers and economy by developing the work-based skills of the future?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My honourable friend raises a really important point, and in previous years she worked and lived in Newcastle-under-Lyme, so understands the power and importance that this issue has to our wider North Staffordshire family, so I thank you for the intervention. Now, I was just talking about the excellent Newcastle College, Madam Deputy Speaker, which is further education rather than higher, but it's important because that's from there that our wonderful institutions like Staffordshire and Kiel get their young people. And I was there last Friday presenting the Student of the Month Awards, and meeting young people who look forward, importantly, to staying in Staffordshire for university. And let's focus, Madam Speaker, on students for a minute. In 2022-23, 34,535 students enrolled for a degree at a higher education provider in Staffordshire. These are young people who we will be looking to for leadership and inspiration in the years ahead. Following our departure from the European Union, the proportion of EU students in Staffordshire has decreased, while the proportion of overseas students has more than tripled from 2.3% to 7.8%. And that speaks to the challenges facing the sector, not just in Staffordshire, but right across Great Britain.
Will the honourable gentleman give way?
I'll happily give way.
Thank you very much for giving way. As the honourable gentleman has made clear, the higher education sector is incredibly important to the skills and education landscape of Staffordshire. Sadly, Stafford itself lost its university campus a few years ago, although there is one just over the border. But the thing it also does is provides opportunities for research development and sector-leading expertise. However, there are considerable issues in this space to which the honourable gentleman has just alluded to. Only this week I've been on the phone to a constituent, a Unison member who works at the University of Staffordshire. They told me they are currently experiencing their third restructure in only 3 years. Yep. Does he agree with me that working in such an insecure environment provides little benefit to the staff and the students?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank my neighbour, the member for Stafford, for such an important point. Stability, certainty and structure is something we all want in our lives. I expect that's why our party received such a mandate from the people. But in a serious point, making sure that our higher education institutions have that stability and focus will benefit all of us. Now, in Staffordshire, Madam Speaker, students of Black African ethnicity had the highest progression rate to higher education, with 81.8%. Progression rates for students eligible for free school meals have increased in Staffordshire over the last 10 years, from 13.3 to 19.3 10 years later. In 21-22, students with special educational needs in Staffordshire were also much less likely to progress to higher education than those with no identified special educational needs. And both those figures were lower than the national average, and in my view speak to the need to get a grip of SEND provision in Staffordshire and across England. The system is broken and it's leaving our young people and their families behind. During the election, Madam Deputy Speaker, I met many of the young people who study at Kiel. I mentioned Molly, Martha, Ollie, Bailey, just a few of the young people who had the wisdom to both study at Kiel and help on my campaign. But from all my visits and meetings with the students, it was clear just how much they've made a home in North Staffordshire, and that's something we all want to hold on to.
Will you give way on that?
I will happily give way. And this is the last intervention, I think.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I find myself somewhat conflicted as a graduate of the wonderful university that is Kiel, but also representing their rival in the local varsity at the University of Staffordshire. My honourable friend's point about young people going to North Staffordshire, going to university, making their home is absolutely right. I am a testament to that. But would he agree with me that one of the things that we now have to do collectively as a group of MPs representing that part of the world is make sure those high value, good quality jobs are then brought to the area so that the graduates that we have can stay in North Staffordshire after they graduate and make a life and a family there?
My honourable friend makes a very important point. It's something that we've discussed and I know that we'll keep working on together, and actually Keele, subject for another debate, is home to many brilliant local businesses, and we want to facilitate more and more, and I hope the Treasury bench will think favourably on us as they look to places to invest in the coming months. Now, Madam Speaker, at Keele, the total number of higher education staff is about 2,000 people. And like all our public services, we rely on brilliant public sector workers, and I want to pay tribute to all the wonderful people who educate, inspire and support the leaders, vets, doctors of tomorrow. I'd also like to acknowledge my constituents, and it's always dangerous to start naming people, but I just want to say a couple of things. I can see the eyes, Madam Deputy Speaker, so I shall be brief. My constituent Rosie Monkman, Professor Peter Lawrence, Ant Sutcliffe, who's also Chair of Governors at St Luke's Primary School in Silverdale, Dr Robert Jackson, who after almost 40 years working at Keele has just retired. That's a good stint and certainly demonstrates more career stability than most of us will have in this House. But I know that our thanks go to all those who work at Keele and Staffordshire University too, and through Professor Trevor Macmillan, the Vice-Chancellor at Keele, and Professor Martin Jones, the Vice-Chancellor at Staffordshire, I want to extend our real and meaningful gratitude to all of them for the work they do. Now, Madam Deputy Speaker, the future of our country is in many ways dependent on the future of our universities. And whilst I don't expect the Minister to second-guess the Chancellor ahead of the budget, I do want to say on the floor of the House that we must give serious consideration and thought to our universities as final decisions are made on the budget. The current situation sees universities launching voluntary redundancy schemes, we've heard that from the member for Stafford, and carrying out constant restructures as they seek to balance the books. It's also our young people, as the member for Strangford has noted. The household income level at which a student qualifies for the maximum level of support has remained unchanged in cash terms since 2008. This means it has had a fall in real terms of about 39%, making students from lower household income levels less likely to be eligible for the full loan and more likely to be pushed to the brink. When those of us in this place were students, some longer ago than others, most people were able to scrape by, but now our young people are being forced to rely on food banks or worse, go hungry if the bank of mum and dad is not an option. And it should never be an option, in my view. Our country should work properly, fairly and decently. Madam Speaker, I congratulate Keele University on their 75 years of groundbreaking research of thought, ideas and change. It's an important milestone and one that I didn't want to pass the House by. Madam Speaker, higher education in Staffordshire, thanks to the staff, the communities around them, and most importantly our young people, is in good shape. But it can and should be made much better. And that's where this new Labour government must come in, and it will have my full support in doing so.
Yeah. To respond, I call the Minister, Janet Daby.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I congratulate the Honourable Member for Newcastle-under-Lyme on securing a debate on the valuable contribution of the higher education sector in Staffordshire. This is pertinent given that this year Keele University, as we've already heard, as the first new university of the 20th century, celebrates its 75th anniversary. And I'd also like to make comments on the many honourable friends and the honourable member that have made a significant contribution in their interventions, and that's the honourable friend for Lynchfield, Stoke-on-Trent North, Burton and Oxler, Strangford, Stoke-on-Trent South, Stafford and Stoke-on-Trent Central. I appreciate all of those contributions, and I will be addressing many of them in my speech. It is right that we celebrate the success of our higher education sector and the value it brings, not only to our economy, but the valuable skills it brings to the people who choose to study at our universities and colleges, as well as the people who choose to work in the sector and the people within the regions they serve. Our universities are autonomous, vibrant and independent. We value this, as does the sector. This government is committed to ensuring a sustainable funding model that supports high-value provision, therefore powering opportunity and growth and meeting the skill needs of the country. Staffordshire is home to some of the most dynamic and innovative universities in the UK. Which I'm sure my honourable friends agree. Each contributing significantly to the academic and social fabric of the community. They've also played a pivotal role in shaping the future of countless students. Staffordshire University and Keele University foster environments where creativity and critical thinking thrive, preparing students to tackle the challenges of tomorrow. This is due to the dedication of the universities, their staff, in maintaining high academic standards and nurturing a culture of continuous improvement. These universities play pivotal roles in driving local economic growth and innovation. Through strategic partnerships and initiatives like Stoke-on-Trent and Staffordshire, these institutions collaborate closely with local industries, fostering advancements in medical technology, healthcare and digital sectors. These partnerships not only offer valuable learning experiences for their students, but have also contributed significantly to the prosperity of this area. Too many people across our country often do not get the opportunity to succeed. We will act to address this. We will support the aspiration of everybody who wants to attend higher education. Higher education providers that are registered with the access and participation plans outline how they will support underrepresented and disadvantaged students groups. Happy to give way.
I do thank the Minister for taking a very short intervention. The Keele University hosts the Uni Connect hub for North Staffordshire Higher Horizons. On average, 18% of our young people go to university. Those that have interacted with Higher Horizons, that jumps to nearly 64%, and yet the funding for that scheme is questionable for the next year. So I know she can't comment on the budget, but could she take back perhaps to her colleagues in the Treasury the importance of securing the funding for that scheme so that those young people she talks about in North Staffordshire get the opportunity they deserve?
I thank my honourable friend for his significant contribution and really advocating for students and for the university in his mentioned. My noble friend, the Minister in the other place for skills, I will bring that to her attention and I'm sure he'll receive a response. Interventions can include tutoring, summer schools and student bursaries. Both the University of Keele and Staffordshire have revised their access and participation plans. They implemented new ones in September 2024. They addressed risks identified in the Office for Students, Equality of Opportunities Risk Register and through assessment of local risk. We see this in the university's initiatives like Step Up Medicine at the University of Keele and the Children's University led by the Staffordshire University. The Step Up Medicine initiative provides aspiring medical students with the support they need to pursue a career in medicine, ensuring students from disadvantaged and deprived backgrounds can explore and prepare for medical education. Equally, the Children's University engages young learners in outside the traditional classroom, fostering a passion for learning and an academic ambition early on. Meeting the skill needs of the next decade is central to delivering the government's mission across all regions and nations. That is why we are building a flexible and high-quality system that breaks down the barriers to opportunity and drives growth. We have established Skills England and tasked it with providing authoritative assessments of skills needs. We envisage Skills England's role in higher education to closely mirror its role in the wider skills system. Skills England will ensure local, regional and national systems, including higher education providers, meeting skill needs. It will work with these providers and other partners to ensure it is aligned with our industrial strategy. All of this will be backed by a new post-16 skills and education strategy which will set out a coherent vision for the skills system. We will support adults and young people, ensuring they have access to valuable work experience, giving them access to opportunity through our youth guarantee and supporting their ambitions to access higher education. This government is transforming the apprenticeship levy into a new growth and skills levy. This will offer greater flexibility to employers and learners. It will help more people develop high skills at work and fueling innovation in businesses across the country. As a key step, the Prime Minister announced shorter duration apprenticeships and new foundation apprenticeships for young people in areas such as construction, green skills and digital. These will support our driving mission to break down the barriers to opportunity and to help to get young people to achieve. That is why I'm delighted to see the work of Keele University and the University of Staffordshire delivering degree apprenticeships. Keele University collaborates with a diverse range of employers, including the NHS and Unilever, and has been recognised as outstanding by Ofsted for their climate change skills bootcamps. Meanwhile, the University of Staffordshire, with its state-of-the-art 40 million Catalyst building, supports over 2,000 apprenticeships, partnering with over 150 employers, including police forces and the NHS. Both universities are receiving significant funding from the OA Office for Students Degree Apprenticeship Development Fund. This will help them to do even more to improve access. Skills England will work closely with employers and training providers, unions and other key partners to identify priority skills gaps, helping to ensure that levy-funded training, including degree apprenticeships, deliver value for money, meet the needs of businesses and drive economic growth. With regards to mental health and well-being that has been mentioned, it's extremely important. The Office for Students are providing £15 million funding for mental health support this year. Many higher education providers, including the University of Staffordshire and Keele universities, have demonstrated their commitment to student mental health by joining the university's Mental Health Charter programme. But we need to go further, and that is why the Higher Education Student Support Champion, Edward Peck, is working closely with students, parents and mental health experts and the sector through the Higher Education Mental Health Implementation Task Force to drive meaningful change in mental health practice and improve the lives of students. We must do all we can to support our students and to prevent tragedies. Both Keele University and Staffordshire University maintain robust partnerships with local industries. For instance, Keele's Science and Innovation Park is home to numerous businesses and promotes collaboration between academia and industry. This synergy not only stimulates the local economy but also offers students valuable work experience. The value that these collaborations provide to regional economies cannot be understated, and it is something that we would encourage all universities to pursue. We should not forget the valuable contribution of further education providers such as Burton and South Derbyshire College. These institutions play a crucial role in ensuring that every person who meets the requirements and wishes to pursue higher education can do so. And finally, I'd like to thank again all of the honourable members, honourable member and honourable friends that have contributed to this debate, and again the honourable member for raising and securing this debate, which I hope, as I've explained, addresses the issues that have been raised, but also celebrates the success of higher education in Staffordshire and shines a light indeed on this sector throughout our country.
The question is that this House do now adjourn. As many as that opinion say aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Order, order.